Welcome to Bill's Bridge class, Class 22, the Overcall, Saturday, April 27th, 2013. What is the criteria for an overcall? An overcall is a call of another suit over an opening bid of one of a suit, or one no trump. Suit quality. You got to have a good suit. There's a lot of reasons why you need that. For one, you might want partner to lead the suit. He's most likely to lead it. Number two, the opponents might want a W because they know you have an opener. One of the players has an opening hand. You don't. Vulnerability plays a critical role in the overcall. If you are vulnerable and they are not, you are at high risk. On the other hand, if you are not vulnerable and they are, go right ahead. Bid up a storm. Hand pattern. Hand pattern we're going to concentrate on through all these defensive bidding techniques. An overcall is basically a one-suited hand. Consider your defensive strength versus your playing strength. If you have a good suit, you don't need a lot of points. But if your suit is not very good, but it's countermanded by a lot of honor cards and other suits, you may want to make an overcall anyway. When you overcall, you want to think of the objective in overcall. Do you want partner to lead your suit? What preemptive power does your bid have? Do you affect the opponent's bidding? You may just interfere with them so they don't know how to bid or won't get to the right place. For example, if you bid a spade over a club or two clubs over one diamond, you're interfering with the opponent's bidding. You're taking away valuable bidding space from the opponents. However, if you overcall a diamond over a club or you overcall two clubs over one spade, you have little impact on the opponents. You haven't stolen any bidding space from them. Note that a good four-card suit can be bid at the one level, particularly with favorable vulnerability. But avoid selling out with defensive strength, even with a weak suit. In other words, if you can compensate by having honor cards outside of your suit, but you have more points, high card points, and playing tricks, you might want to overcall anyway with a weak suit. With a fit for the majors, even at 4-3, prefer a takeout double. We're going to talk about takeout double tomorrow. But always focus on the major suits, whether you're overcalling or you're doubling or the like. Majors are first. At the one level, you don't need a lot. Even less than 8 high card points if you have a good suit. And particularly if the suit is spades because it has preemptive power. Consider other action based on strength and hand pattern. For example, with a two-suited hand, you might want to consider a different bid. Depends on several factors, and we will get into that later on in our discussions here in future classes with two-suited hands. With a very strong hand, you don't want to overcall. You're limited to about 17 high card points. If you have more than that, you're probably going to want to double, or perhaps make some other bid. At the 2 level, an overcall shows almost an opening hand. It's much stronger. Usually a 6-card suit. Partner will expect a 6-card suit or a very good 5-card suit. And if vulnerable, you better have a good suit, at least 3 of the top 5 honors. Pay attention to playing tricks and solidity of the suit. You know, is it ace-king 4-3-2 or is it ace-king 10-9-8? Big difference. Going down 2 doubled if the opponents have no game is a guaranteed disaster at duplicate, and probably an imp playing too. Beware of vulnerable doubles. Here's some example hands. We'll go through several. This hand is good enough for a 1-spade overcall over a club. How about this hand? 6-4, good distribution, only 9 high card points, but you can bid a heart over a club, absolutely. How about this? 5-card suit, but a very good looking 5-card suit. You can bid one spade over almost anything. How about this hand? You have good intermediaries in the spade suit, but your hand is really kind of weak. Over a club, go ahead and bid a spade. How about this hand? Your spades are kind of weak, but you've got ace, king, ace over there. Kind of compensates for the weak spade suit. Go ahead and bid a spade over a club. Yeah, a partner might lose a spade, but other things can happen. You might not, your partner may not even be on lead. Maybe you're on lead. You gotta take some action. How about this hand? Well, it's somewhat similar. The spade suits are weak. You've got ace, queen, ace, and a king. Go ahead and bid a spade. How about this hand? Well, it's kind of an aceless hand, and the spades are not very good. Pass. You could go down for that 2 doubles in a hurry with this stuff. Pass quickly. How about this hand? The hearts are bad. About as bad as you can get for a 5-card suit. But you've got 13 high card points. Go ahead, cross your fingers and bid a heart. How about this hand? 4-card spade suit, but you got a king, queen, 10, 9. Pretty good spots there. A pretty fair hand. Go ahead and bid a spade. At the 1 level, that's fine. How about this hand? Ace, queen, you 5, 4, 2, 2. Go ahead and bid a heart. Only 4-card suit, but it's a good suit. And you have a pretty good hand. How about this hand? Only 4-card spade suit, but it's pretty good looking suit. Over a diamond, bid a spade. Now you're less likely to be successful here, but at very least you probably get a good lead from partner if he's on lead. It's worth a while to make the bid. I don't expect to get a lot out of it. How about this hand? Ace, queen, ace, queen. Go ahead and bid a spade. A little risky. Your spades are a little light, but you're at the 1 level. And you got a 5-card suit and you got 3 quick tricks, so you can't get hurt too bad. A few more examples. That's a pretty god-awful hand. Please pass. Don't get in trouble. How about that hand? You got pretty good looking spades. Queen, jack, 3rd of diamonds. Well, at match point, you might bid a spade. At imps, you might pass. It's a little risky. At match point, especially if the vulnerability is favorable, go ahead. How about this hand? Well, bid a spade, but understand that it's risky. Conservative player might pass that hand. You don't have a lot of offensive strength there. You have more defense, but you do have some points, so maybe you should bid. How about this hand? 4 spades, king, queen, jack. You have 4, 8, 9, plus 6. You have 15 high card points. Over 1 heart, double. We're going to get into that, but you have 4 of the unbid major. You got 3 of the others. You're asking partner to bid a suit. We'll get into double tomorrow, but a double is better than a spade here because you can support anything but hearts. Usually you have fewer than 3 hearts, but they're little ones. Make a double. Tomorrow we're going to go to the next step in defensive bidding, class 23, the takeout double, not a penalty double. See you Sunday.